Happy Money Making Monday. I'm Labrika Danielle Schaefer, and I love to support large businesses, but I was missing the eye and the ear and the heart of the individual person. So I'm actually bringing to you what I bring to them in a way that is appetizing, digestible, and appeasing to more so help people who look like me go from idea to reality. So stick with me and we're going to go on a ride. Now, the cool thing about this is we're all going to go together, okay? So we are actually going to start, this is week 1, where we're going over the things that's needed to create a successful business, okay? Now, the cool thing about what we're going to do is you can apply the information that I'm giving you across industries as well as across the country, right? So whether you are one person like me who wants to reach millions, or you're one person like me who really just wants to impact the community, this information that I'm giving you is scalable. All right. So the first question that I always get is, how do I find money to help me put my business into play, right? If I have $50,000, I could make this work. Well, great question. We will actually go into resources for finances, but in this particular video, we're going to go over really how to monetize your mind, okay? How to monetize your mind and how to communicate your idea to not only attract more customers, but attract loyalty as well as attract finances to you in a way that allows you to produce more for your customers. All right. So let's get into it. So first, let's talk about monetizing your mind, right? Now, whether you are a business or you serve consumers, so you are business to consumer. This is information that is really cross-reference, okay? All right, as well as cross-industry. Now, when I say monetize your mind, I'm essentially saying you're going to create a service portion of your business. So I believe that every business should have a product version of their business and a service version of their business. Now, for every business or for every industry, that can look 2 different ways, but it's just my simple belief, and it has actually helped a lot of the customers that I've been able to implement this with. All right. So let's get into it. So let's first talk about the first end of the spectrum when it comes to service-based business or product-based. So let's go into, what is a service-based business anyway? Well, great question. So a service-based business is essentially where you get paid to do a service and there's no actual product. So there's no food to eat, there's nothing to drink, there is no paper to be exchanged, but essentially you are doing a service. So this can look like financial services. This can look like legal services. This could look like marketing. You guys know that's one of my favorites, all right? So there are a lot of different ways, and I'll actually list them here below. There are a lot of different aspects of a business where you can create a service where you are being able to monetize your mind and people will pay you. This is actually great for those businesses who are starting. They're going from idea to reality. Let's create a service-based business, especially if you are low on funds and you really want to start a business that grows from the grassroots up, okay? All right. So those are our examples. Now, every business has to be able to do 3 things. They have to be able to market, they have to be able to convert, okay? As well as they have to be able to retain. So those are the 3 things that every business has to be able to do successfully to not only keep their customers or keep their business going, but as well as have the capacity to grow their business. All right, let's get into it. So on the service side, what are some few ways that we could market to customers? So 1, marketing to customers can look like one, basically like your friends and family, right? So if you have a certain business, let's say, for example, I'll use myself for example. Let's say I have a daiquiri lounge. And my customers who I actually really want to get on board with me are women. Women love the drinks. They're like me, and they are my target audience. Okay. All right. So let's say my first audience are women. I've created my target audience. So you can see this. But I've created my target audience, and I've created the same profile as myself, right? Because if I'm my biggest customer, then I essentially know what will get me to move and what will get me to buy. All right. Okay, so that's my target audience is women, and let's specify that millennial women. So let's specify that as well. Okay. So there are actually a few ways that you can reach your target audience, but that is one area of marketing. Okay. This is one area, one group that you can market to. All right. So that's basically your target audience, okay? The next group that I want us to be able to market to is the expanded target audience, okay? So this can look like a few different ways, whether it is your target audience. So you have basically created a person that you can sell to very easily, whether they are in New Jersey, Texas, Mexico, or Canada. You have created this person. They're millennial women who like Target. Okay? Millennial women who like Target. These are my type of girls. Okay? Millennial, Target, and women. So this is my expanded audience where now I'm using my initial circle audience, and now I'm expanding. Okay, so like I said, I now know how to sell or reach this target audience, and now I'm expanding. So this could look like international work, whatever the case may be, or this could also look like their husbands, their children, their co-workers. This can also look like that, but I do know who my central customer is, who my central target audience is. Okay, millennial women who like Target. Those are my girls. All right. So last but not least, we really want to be able to create an internal team. The reason why you want to be able to create and market an internal team is because they are going to be pushers who essentially are going to push your business the same way that you would, okay? And probably with a little bit of a twist, but they understand you foundationally, all right? Now, I say that this is a completely different audience because you may reach this internal group here or even in the expanded market, but they operate two different ways. They operate two different ways. This one right here, you can reach them in a certain way, but this one, they want to be able to feel you. They want to know, how are we doing financially? What are our expectations for next quarter? What are our expectations for the next 5 years? This internal group is really the heart and the pulse of the business. So, and honestly, I think that every business, regardless, should have an internal group, right? I've always learned that a company is successful when they can have a trifold in their business where they focus on the employees, the shareholders, and the employees, shareholders, and the customers. All right. Now, shareholders will be seen as like internal. All right. All right. Okay. So that's how we want to be able to market. Now, let's talk about communication between these three markets. We're going to go here. So earlier I said that every market does have their own way of being reached, right? Every market, I'm gonna move this here. So every market does have their own way of being reached. So this is your central target audience. We're gonna spell check that for my target girlies. We're gonna spell check that. All right. So this is your central target audience. The goal is to find as many central target audience members as you possibly can. Now, this looks like, honestly, this looks like really being yourself. This looks like being authentic. So regardless of the business, let's take this out of the DAC realms. Let's say this is a, who have I helped? Let's say you are a dentist, okay? Let's say you are a dentist. Nah, I'm gonna stick with the DAC lounge because the girls, millennial girls and Target, that's what's in my head right now. So we're gonna stick with the Daiquiri Lounge. All right, so being able to reach my target audience of millennials, millennial women, Target lovers. You have to love Target. It's not like, oh, I just go to Target just because it's down the street. No, it's a difference. It's a difference. All right. Now, to be able to reach this target audience, you have to think, okay, what do they like? Where are they? What do they listen to? Are they family prone, right? And so that's what's going to, are they on Pinterest? Y'all know I did that video earlier. So that's what's going to give you different ways that you can market to them so that you can consistently always reach your target audience. So I spoke of now let's start to list all the ways that you can reach people in marketing. So my favorite is Pinterest. The reason Pinterest is my personal favorite is because regardless of when you actually posted a pin, when a customer goes on and they say, hey, goes on Google, which is why it's my favorite. Let's say they go on Google and they say, hey, I'm looking for a custom daiquiri recipe. Your pin is going to have that description in it and it's going to start to match it. Okay, so that's why this one is my personal favorite. I know we have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all those things. We'll get into those as well. But Pinterest is my personal favorite simply because it's not required by date to be relevant. All right. Next we have Instagram. I am an Instagram girly. The reason why I am an Instagram girly is simple because pictures? It's really simple. People will start to identify with you based on the grid that you create. Ooh, I like those colors. They make me feel seen. They make me feel warm. They make me feel heard. People will recognize with you and identify with you really based on what you put out. All right. So Instagram, YouTube. Now, I like YouTube in multiple different ways. One, YouTube ads, because you do not have to have a YouTube page to create YouTube ads. And YouTube is directly linked with Google, okay? Directly linked with Google. Probably should be up near Pinterest, but it is where it is. But YouTube, you do not need an actual YouTube page to market to your customers. You can create ads. I actually have one ad, and it comes up very often. It comes up very often. I'll give them a shout out. They actually are a black owned, of course I'll give them a shout out. They are a black owned wax facility here in Dallas, Texas. And they have a few locations, and she pops up and she's like, girl, friend. And yeah, they get me every time, simply because of the YouTube ad. And they do not have a YouTube page. All right, but I'll link them below so we can give them a shout out, because the YouTube ads all work. All right, next we have, of course, Facebook. Facebook is an absolute favorite. Is an additional favorite just because now that you're reaching millennial women, the millennial women are going to share, and now those millennial women are connected to the older generation, the younger generation, and the same generation, right? For both men and women. And so as they do Facebook shares, you can really hit all generations, particularly with Facebook. All right. And then last but not least, LinkedIn. We're going to add in TikTok. They are two different platforms, but I don't have enough space for another. I mean, I could have did another one. But anyway, LinkedIn and TikTok. We're going to add another space because TikTok is its own beast. Now, TikTok is more similar to Pinterest because people just want to see you. They want to see what's a day like in your life, in my life, if I was to buy your product. Like, what does that look like? If I sold lip gloss, will my lip gloss be popping all day, right? Like, will I like to help the community because I feel good in my lip gloss, right? So how can you connect a feeling with your product to the customer? All right. And then, of course, not TikTok, but LinkedIn, really more so because LinkedIn has that, especially if we're talking about the service side of your business, LinkedIn absolutely reaches professionals and business owners in a way that the other platforms would not. All right. Okay. So this is how we start with our target audience. All right. This is for my daiquiri lounge. Okay. Now, once you get your target audience, I did list 6 items. I do not encourage for any business to start on more than 2 platforms. Having to go to Pinterest, go to Instagram, go to Facebook, it's a lot. Take it from me, it's a lot. Okay? The way my mind works, the way I have to keep the kids together, I still have to work out. All the platforms, I still have to make money, right? It's a bit much. So I highly encourage for people to operate with no more than 2 platforms starting out. Listen, and I'm a person who says I can do all things. I says I can do all things through Christ all the time. And no, it's just too much. All right. So no more than 2 platforms to start off with to really gain your audience, to start sharing your story, telling people who you are, telling people what they can get from you, creating basically a way to serve others in monetizing your mind. So being able to monetize what you know is true without you even having a product, before you even have a product. All right. Okay. So that's our circle target audience. So this is basically our central. Now we're going to talk about how do we reach. Okay. All right. Now we're going to talk about how do you reach the expanded audience. All right. So essentially the expanded audience. All right. So essentially the expanded audience is The audience that looks like your target audience, but everywhere. Okay? So this is your target audience in Canada. So I speak international, okay? I feel like every business should be international. I don't care if you're a hairstylist. Every business should be international. If 1-800-Flowers, shout out to them. If 1-800-Flowers, let me get closer. If 1-800-Flowers can be international, and not just small international, big international. When there is a florist in every city, if 1-800-Flowers can be international and $1 trillion business, you can't tell me your business cannot go international. Okay? So for me, international is normal. Bear with me. International is normal. All right. Now back to our regular programming. Okay, so reaching the expanded audience. So this looks like international. So this looks like international. This looks like multi-generational. This looks like multi-gender. Okay. So you know your target audience, but what's their equivalent in a man? Or what's their equivalent in a woman? Whatever your target audience is. Okay. And then last but not least, what's another way that we can expand our circle? I'm gonna leave that open for now. It's gonna come to me though. All right, so international. If we're going to reach international, the reason why I wanted to have this set apart is because just because we're reaching international markets does not mean we have to change our core of the business. For example, McDonald's in Canada markets differently to McDonald's in California. Okay, the McDonald's in Texas markets differently to the McDonald's in Thailand. Okay, same burger, same fries, but they market and communicate and connect differently with their customers. They connect more so in a way that the people in that area really need to hear the information. How does your burger help my life? How does your service help my life? You got to remember, everybody is in it for them, essentially. Everybody is in it for them, and unfortunately, if you got into business to make a lot of money, sorry, you have to get in business to serve. I don't mean to bust your bubble, but yeah, that's just really just the way life was created. The more you serve, the more money you make. So we have to be able to diversify and reach different people. All right. So that's what international looks like. All right. So how can we diversify for international? Now, even within those same platforms, you can still reach international markets by one being shareable. That's a huge item. 2, being not necessarily universal, but have a universal message, right? Everybody goes through something. I don't care if you're wealthy or you're not. Everybody is going through something, right? And so whatever problem your business fixes, that's what you should communicate, and communicate it in a way that reaches them. So say, for example, let's stay with the Daiquiri Lounge. So with the Daiquiri Lounge, the way that I'm going to communicate to international water. So with the Daiquiri Lounge, our mission is we bring joy, connection, and family. We bring joy, connection, and family in a way that connects with others through drinks. Okay? So one way that I would reach international markets is, one, I would do recipes from different countries, right? So I get to So, people from Mexico, which I love Mexico. So people from Mexico, or people from Panama, or recipes from Thailand, right? So basically just picking up different recipes that I could really respect their culture, but more so kind of bring it into the daiquiri lounge, bring it into my station, to where people are comfortable with learning about other countries and bringing it into their homes. All right, because essentially we just connect. All right, we're connecting dots over here. Okay, multi-generational. You really want to be able to represent your product or your business in a way that connects to the target audience, but for somebody who they're thinking about. Okay, that's how you are going to go multi-generational. So this looks like, hey, are you looking, so let's say with the daiquiri lounge, hey, are you looking for gifts for this person? Now let me put myself on the spot real quick. So if we're looking, let's say I'm looking to give something to my mother's generation, right? This is my mother's generation who doesn't really drink. I'm just really trying to reach that generation, right? So I would do something like a mocktail in a conversation. So maybe having a recipe book. Thank you. So maybe having a recipe. Sometimes the Holy Spirit gives me things, but maybe having a recipe book that just kind of speaks to the variations that a person could make, and it can really reach that person while bringing in really good topics and conversations, right? For them to connect with their loved ones across generations. Okay, so that's just an option, or really just an idea to get you thinking, to reaching the different generations. All right, with your same product. Multi-gender, so being able to reach the opposite of your target audience. So the opposite of my target audience would be millennial males. So an idea that I could get is, let's see, for a service, how can I reach men in a service with the daiquiri lounge? I still would say the same thing. When it comes to the conversation piece, just because men like to have deep conversations as well. Men like to have deep connections. So I would say the same thing, but just more so kind of represented or represented with the idea of men in mind. So I like to keep it simple around here. And I didn't have a last one, so we're just going to say love. Okay, love. All right. So those are our 3 groups and how to market to them. So those are actually ideas of how to market to those 3 groups. Man, I ran out of time. I didn't get to talk about conversion or retention, but I will do a video with those next. All right. I'm going to give you a piece on conversion, though. I'm going to give you some conversion. Because essentially, we're not here just to create ideas and think about ideas. We're really here to make money, right? Because we got this big idea that if I had $50,000, I would change the world, right? All right, cool. So we're gonna convert it. We're gonna make this $50,000. All right, bet. Okay, so let's talk about conversions. So how do you turn likes into dollars? How do you turn eyes into buyers? How do you turn potential into real customers? Even as a service, even though you are a product-based business, but you're offering a service. So let's say in mind of the daiquiri lounge, let's say, what would I do? I'm thinking, because I really want to give y'all fresh ideas off the mind, because you can really do anything, right? There's literally, the sky is the limit. But what do you see in your head? All right, like, what's the dream that you have? Okay, so let's talk about, so we were talking about conversions. How do I how do I, one, interest customers? That's what we just talked about. How do I reach customers, turn them into followers, fans, get their likes, get their buy-in, and then how do I get their money? Because we need the money, okay? It's not a hobby. We're not doing this for fun. We need the money. All right, so let's talk about how it converts. In which, no, not every business needs a website. Let me just throw that out there right now. Not every business needs a website. You can literally just run a bit. You don't even need a business card. Are you trustworthy? Okay. So that's what this looks like. Trust, consistency, evolution. Okay? Trust, consistency, and evolution. So, one, I've met quite a few customers who will watch a person for 12 months to see, are you going to fall off? If I give you my money, is it going to be worth it? Right? They will see it all day long, but they won't buy. Okay? So, consistency definitely brings trust. So, that's really where the consistency comes in. Consistency. If people are seeing you show up for your business, whether you have $5 or $500,000 in the bank, they are going to respect you because you are showing up for your business in the way that most would not. Okay? You are showing up for your business in the way that says, hey, what I have in my head, what I have in my heart, what I see in reality, the way I'm showing up in my business, all of that is aligned. So you can sit right here next to me. All right. So trust and consistency, that's what that is. And then also evolution, being able to evolve the way that you market to people, being able to evolve the way what you present and put out into the world, that also turns prospects into buyers. All right. Now, let's go into the ways that they can purchase from you as a service-based business. All right. So let's say we are still daiquiri lounging, still using the daiquiri lounge, all right, as a service-based business. As a service-based business, what I would do is because I like to put money in other people's hands as well, I actually would partner with multiple bartenders around town who I knew would present a product in the way that I would present it. Okay. So I would partner with bartenders around town. I would really kind of diversify. So I'm in Dallas. I would do Dallas. I would do a Grand Prairie. I would do an Arlington, Fort Worth, DeSoto, Cedar Hill. I would partner with really good bartenders who I could trust. Okay. Now, what I would also start to do is I would start to go, and because I like to talk, I would also go to different businesses who needed my service of hospitality with alcohol, okay, or even mocktails. It doesn't even have to be alcoholic, but needs the service of hospitality in the forms of drinks, okay. And I would go and I would position hospitality contracts essentially, and depending on the city, I would match a bartender up with that opportunity. Okay, so essentially I'm going out and meeting, we're going to go to another page here, but essentially the way I would do it is I would find places around town, in different cities because I like it like that. I like to reach more than one city. I don't know, it's this thing for me. But I would find places in different cities that would now be my new target audience, that I knew if I could find a person like this in every city, I could do business with them, right? And I would offer hospitality contracts. hospitality, fun, drinks, mocktails. Okay? Because I have bartenders who want to work, looking for work, can do the work. Okay? All right. And I would basically just be the mediator for the contracts. I would make sure I would reach out to every bartender on my staff, and I would list them as a trusted partner or trusted vendor with us. And every time people got me, they would get a really good business. And I'm also putting other people on. So to me, that's a win-win. Okay. I'm just being the feet and the top and the mouth. So basically I would get a portion of the money. I'm not gonna say a little bit, but I would get a portion of the money, and then the bartenders would do the work. And the locations would benefit from additional customers or satisfied customers, whether they're wanting to keep their current customers satisfied or increase their market, because everybody has a what's in it for me. Okay. And that would be the service that I would do. At that point, I'm actually helping out multiple different people. I'm helping out other local business owners, other local small business owners, and then other local businesses who need their product. So basically, I'm being a connector. So that would be the service that I would give in a way that puts some money in my pocket. All right. Okay. So I have definitely gone longer than I initially intended, but I did want to give y'all week 1 of running a business, being able to monetize your mind in a service-based business. Now, again, like I said, I think every business should have both service and products within their business. But as we get to that, we're all going to grow together. All right. I love y'all.